Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day, another week, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But really, what I want to talk about is the live service game in general. Since just a couple days, we talked about Suicide Squads last week a bit, but then Marvel's Avengers came and shut down, or is going to shut down. So we do these topics, standalone topics, 4 days a week right here on 30NSG starting at 10 a.m. So if you like this type of content, make sure you hit that like button. It's a great way to help the video and the channel. I give you the story up front so you don't have to go look for it. Give all the info up here. And if you want to stay for the conversation afterwards, the topic, we do it with live chat and go into more depth and discussion with you guys. Now, the future... The future action-adventure game Suicide Squad's Kill the Justice League was created by Rocksteady Studios and released by Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, who's come out with Gotham, who's also coming out with Hogwarts in just a few weeks. Now, the fifth main Batman Arkham game, which takes place after Batman Arkham Knights, is the first to have a Batman as a main character. First to have a main character with Kevin Conroy, still provides the character's voice line, appears here, and this is the last appearance for Kevin Conroy. Rest in peace. Now, the game, in which, based on the DC Comics supervillains anti-hero team of the Suicide Squad, centers around a group of supercriminals that Amanda Waller assembles and set in Metropolis in order to stop the alien invader Brainiac and have save the Justice League members that have been brainwashed. Now, the game is set to release on May 26, 2023 for Microsoft, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series XS. Dropping the last-gen consoles, which I think is a smart move. The game is set in the universe previously established by Batman Arkham series, taking place sometime after the events of Batman Arkham Knight. Amanda Waller creates a task force known as the Suicide Squad, which is composed of the inmates from Arkham Asylums, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, and King Shark. Now, only when they arrive in the city, this is the synopsis of it, only when they arrive in the city is severe of the situation, Brainiac has invaded Earth and has started brainwashing the inhabitants, including the Justice League members Superman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Batman, Aquaman, I think, and Wonder Woman. Now, I do believe that Wonder Woman, based on the trailers, is the only one that doesn't get taken over by Brainiac, but obviously that's from the trailers that we could see. That could change before, as the game comes out, we know more. Unable to depend on the heroes for help, it's up to the Suicide Squad to save the world, freeing the Justice League from Brainiac's control, stopping him to destroy Metropolis, and even eventually the world. Now, the video game is based on the Suicide Squad, was first announced by DC Comics Chief Creative Officer Jeff Johns way back in July of 2010. In February 2012, he elaborated that the game was development, adding that because of the concept, you have a game that the lead characters can conceivably die. And it's not a stunt, he says. Some really cool stories could come out of that. Now, there was an article later down the road that said that you could kill only a few of the members of the Justice League because WB and DC don't want to have the visuals of killing their iconic heroes. Like, you wouldn't be able to kill Superman, or you wouldn't be able to kill Wonder Woman type of stuff. Now, the formation of the Suicide Squad was teased at the end of Batman Arkham Origins in 2013, developed by WB Games Montreal, which featured a post-credit scene in which Deathstroke is asked by Amanda Waller to join the team, and in Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, in which Deadshot and Bronze Tiger join the team with Bane under consideration. Now, in the years since Batman Arkham Knight was released, there have been rumors suggesting that WB Montreal was working on Suicide Squad game, but no official announcement was made from the development team or publisher. In December of 2016, Jason Schreier from Kotaku at the time revealed that the title was canceled. Now, Rocksteady Studios announced that Suicide Squad Justice League in August of 2020, and Rocksteady, the creator of Batman Arkham franchise, was initially rumored to be working on the Superman-themed game, which is then later debunked. But obviously, Superman is in this game, so something got leaked out somewhere along the lines where they thought they were making a Superman game. Now, the first trailer for the game premiered at the DC Fandom on August 22nd of 2020, as the game is set to be in the Arkhamverse. Now, plot threads established in Batman Arkham series include the Joker's death in Batman Arkham City and the public relations of Batman's identity as Bruce Wayne in Batman Arkham Knight. This would continue in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and the Los Angeles-based company Unbroke Studios are assisting Rocksteady in developing the game. Which now brings us to the present day. Right? The present day is the most recent A significant leak for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has recently become a great deal more reliable. One of the most popular video games of 2023 is Suicide Squad's Kill the Justice League, is part because of the brand new DC title from Rocksteady and the studio behind the adored Batman Arkham series. Now, this game, which is a sequel to Arkham Knights, expands on the world significantly by introducing us to additional heroes that Batman for the first time. So obviously, we're going to see Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman within the same universe as the Batman Arkham series, right? Not only depicts those heroes, but also gives players the duty of eliminating them in the various forms of cooperative mayhem. Now, all this sounds extremely great, right? But earlier this week, one thing that gave some of the folks pause. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League may have games as a service. Now, as the framework, according to a recent leak, which raised several red flags, many were concerned that this would imply that it would be like Marvel's Avengers or something. Now, and a lot of people look at this and go, why are people comparing it to Marvel's Avengers? And let's continue with my little opening here. Now, with a ton of systems, in-game currencies, and other things, according to the rumors, the Battle Pass in the game was hinted by the leaked image and will only contain cosmetic goods. Now, the Battle Pass, however, means that Rocksteady would want to continue developing the game for a long time in order to make the greatest money. Now, we don't really know all the specifics at the time, but it does seem to be legitimate. In order to prevent a copyright violation from Warner Brothers, slapping copyright strikes on tweets contained the leaked image, which it couldn't do otherwise. So they're confirming without confirming that it's in the game. Now, Warner Brothers and Rocksteady Studios have not yet offered any official comments on the situation. We do know that how these things will be put into practice, though. And since this is an older build of the game, it's possible that the aspects has been entirely dropped, which I seriously doubt. And in any case, with the May release date drawing nearer and nearer, should expect to learn more shortly. Now, additionally, it is believed that the numerous currencies visible at the top of the leaked image represent XP that is utilized and enhanced to customize each hero, anti-hero's ability in their tree, or in their skill tree, making each one unique to the player. Now, quote from VGC, you don't start off debuff and weak, VGC was told. You start off as great and get ridiculous, like an Arkham Knight's Batman. Now, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is described as a genre-bending action-adventure shooter set in an open-world metropolis. Now, I know you can't compare one to the other of the game like Marvel's Avengers, but it's starting to seem like the same things happening that we saw with past games, like Anthem, like Marvel's Avengers, like Halo Infinite, where people are super hype about this game because it looks good. But then once we play those games, we start seeing the flaws in the foundation of those games. Anthem had really good combat, but no end game with a marketplace. No plan for story or fixing bugs or glitches week after week, month after month, never fixing the game, but always adding more cosmetics, skins. Marvel's Avengers had a really good combat, but with no end game and a marketplace. No plan for story and fixing bugs and glitches week after week, month after month, never fixing, but always adding more skins. Does this sound familiar? So, can you blame people for seeing this leak and not thinking it's just another IP that is banking off your fans' hype to sell us a game that could be combat but no end game with a marketplace, right? Good combat, no end game, and a marketplace. Now, I don't know myself, right? But with the time going by as closer on to release date, we know very little about this Suicide Squad game. We have yet to see what the core gameplay is. We just know it's an anti-hero going up against the Justice League and people are hyped, right? People alone are like, I can't wait to shoot stuff. But with that leaked photo, people should be worried because fans want a game that is fun, that has a plan, and doesn't feel like it's just selling you skins for an IP that you love. They make the base characters just look okay. Okay, right? They make the armor and Anthem just seem okay, but then you can do skin upgrades and whatnot to make your character look more badass. Marvel's Avengers looks like the D Squad's in there, and then all of a sudden they start selling you IP cosmetics from the movies and TV shows and the comic books to make them look better. Okay, so that's what they do. As of right now, you see the movement of players that are already defending this game, just like they defended all the other games that came before it. Now, I'm not defending or saying it's one way or the other, but saying they don't care, they're going to have fun, They're going to buy the skins. Not a big deal. And if you don't like the marketplace, you don't have to buy it because it's just a cosmetic. But you do, because you saw what happened to Marvel's Avengers. You saw what happened to Anthem. Because it's a win-win for the company and a lose-lose for the fans or the player base. Because if you're hyped and you buy the overpriced skins, then you support the game, and they continue on with the bare minimum content going forward, which is by adding more skins for you to buy as they string you along waiting for actual content. Skins are not content, okay? So, and if you don't buy the skins, then you stop supporting the game, or they stop supporting the game because they're like, oh, look, people are not buying the skins, so there's no reason to continue making the game. So you see the goalposts move with the defenders. They say, well, this game is trash or garbage, and then you move on to the next said game, okay? I think we all can agree that all we want is a fun game that has things to collect. Example, Spider-Man. Right? You play the game, you do missions, you collect the actual suits, and then you can wear them when you want. Okay? It's a complete game. Now, Suicide Squad's Kill the Justice League, in my eyes, can change this perspective and these type of games because I don't have anything against Rocksteady at this time, right? Rocksteady right now has made nothing but great games up to this point, right? And maybe Suicide Squads will be another great game, but with all the games that come out before this one that were looters, that all came out unfinished, broke, buggy, no end game, and a marketplace, okay, and battle passes, you kind of get worried, okay? But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. If you are watching this after the fact, or if you'd like to be in the live chat right now, hang out for the discussion. Please make sure you hit that like button if you didn't like the video. I thank you for watching this long, and I'll see you guys on the next video. What's going on, chat? How's everyone doing? Let me see what you guys are saying in chat. Good morning, David Rose. Good morning, Jesse Mack. Icy Hot Ramen. What's going on? I joined on time by accident. Well, there you go. Appreciate it. Is it really GAAS? We don't know yet, Sarge. We don't give a shit about those heroes. Maybe because the UI looked very Marvel Avengers to me. It could have been. Yeah. Now, we already have F-up Black Adam movie. How many WB DC movies will be up to another DC? Yeah, a lot of problems, right? I don't want to like crap over. We talked about this last week, right? We literally talked about this last week about the leaked image, but I kind of wanted to bring it back. I didn't have a topic this morning, and then I was like, you know what would make a really good topic is talking about the live service games of Suicide Squad, if it is a live service game, because after last week talking about Suicide Squad, we then on Friday, we don't stream on Fridays, but all of a sudden Friday when I was at Epcot, I've gotten messages by all of you guys. Did you see this? Did you see the news? Posting me in tweets and Discord, people DMing me, telling me Marvel's Avengers is closing down. And they're keeping the store open. And they're keeping the microtransactions for another 2 months, right? And I looked at this and I was just like, holy Christ, this could be what Suicide Squad is. There's a bunch of stuff. Like, you look at this, it's all the same thing. It's the exact same thing. We didn't know leading up to what Anthem was. We didn't know what Anthem was, right? Like, follow me here, right? Follow me here. We didn't know what Anthem was. And as closer and closer got to Anthem, we didn't know what Anthem was until we played the beta, right? We played the beta and we're like, oh man, this is a lot of fun. And we played the beta and we had a lot of fun because the fighting was cool. But the beta didn't get us near the end game. You could only go up to like level 10 or whatever it was, or 8 or 10 or whatever. I forget what it was, right? And then we played Anthem when it came out. Looked great. Combat felt good. But it was, you could tell as you were playing the game, you're like, the loot was bad. The end game was bad. The story was just, Marvel's Avengers, 2 years later, people were like, this seems like Marvel's Avengers. And I remember having a conversation with one of you guys. I think it was Zero Theory. He said, this reminds me a lot about Anthem. I said, that's not fair, right? I said this, right? I said, it's not fair that you can compare it to that because we don't know anything about the game yet. And here we are 2.5 years later, and I can say that Zero Theory was 100% correct in comparing it, but obviously at the time you couldn't compare it. You could make an assumption, and we all do that. I do that a lot, and that's why I have this, right? Like, this is what it is. You look back at Marvel's Avengers, it goes, it was just like Anthem. In ways, it was worse than Anthem. But people don't think it's worse than Anthem because they like the IP. They like the Marvel heroes. Okay? So now here we are, Suicide Squad. We're 4 months, not 5, 4 months away from this game. Okay, 4 months away from this game coming out. And we know nothing about it. We just know it's a shooter, right? We've seen the trailers. We've seen the in-game trailers. We've seen the in-game cinematics, but we know nothing about this game. We know it's a co-op, 4-player co-op game, looter that you kill the Justice League, right? We know that the D Squad, right? When you look at the when you look at the D Squad, and when I say the D Squad, I'm gonna bring up, and I'm gonna bring this up here. Right? When you see the D Squad, you look at these characters. And you're like, oh, they look good. They look good. But they don't look great, right? Anthem did this. You look good in your armor, but it looked a lot better with other armor that you bought from the marketplace, right? You looked good in Marvel's Avengers, but you didn't look great in Marvel's Avengers, right? So now you have these characters that they look good, right? Harley Quinn looks better than the Harley Quinn from Gotham Knights. Okay. Gotham Knights, the best skins in the game you had to purchase. You couldn't get inside the game, right? And that's not a live service game, right? Harley Quinn doesn't look terrible, but she also doesn't look great, right? So obviously, in my eyes and in my head, I see that maybe they take Boomerang and put him in his actual, other costume, and Harley Quinn in the iconic costume that you'll pay $10 for, $12 for, $14 for, type of stuff. This is the type of stuff that starts to wean on me as far as, oh boy. Now, obviously, the game will be fun, right? That's not the question, right? You're going to have fun because the combat, the gunplay, or jumping around or feeling overpowered and feeling powerful is going to make you feel like this game's amazing. And you can enjoy the story and whatnot. Anthem story, okay. Marvel's story, okay. Right? Just okay. If you pay for the cosmetics moving forward, they continue to make more cosmetics because, hey, they say, oh, you bought this? Well, maybe you'll buy this. Oh, you bought that? Maybe you'll buy this. But they don't actually give actual content. Now, again, I'm speculating here based on the past games. And again, if I compare this to other superhero type games, okay, they sell you cosmetics over and over and over, and they don't put any content in the actual game. It's the same content. In Marvel's Avengers, you're fighting the same villains over and over. In Destiny, you're fighting the same villains over and over. In Division, you're fighting the same villains over and over. Okay? And at right now, you got to look at it as WB needs a hit. Hogwarts coming out in 2 weeks. That thing's going to smash records. It can come out, okay, right? It's going to be popular, one, because it's Harry Potter. 2, there's no marketplace that we know of up to this point. Nothing said, nothing leaked of an actual marketplace. Not a live service game, just Hogwarts. Gotham Knights wasn't a looter live service, but it was a looter live service, but they kind of changed it. You could tell by playing the game. You just know. So is this game going to be and feel like Gotham Knights, where it was supposed to be a live service looter? Or is this game an actual looter, live service looter? We'll find out. What's going on, Travis? This game went completely off my radar once I saw the games as service to those games mean lesser quality and ridiculous monetization. Little Creepy Monster says, greetings and happy gaming. What's going on? Every game I purchase these days is basically in fingers crossed mode. I hope this game rocks our socks and it's a hit and it's not a miss. I'm right there with you, right? I don't go into these games wanting to hate these games, right? I'm a gamer. I want to game. I want to play. But there's a difference, right? You play games now and you're like, oh man, that's a really good game. That's a really good game. And I wish other people thought it was a good game because you want to play, right? Games like this that I lost friends, not in real life, but friends that used to play the game. Star Wars, right? Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out. Microtransactions galore before it came out. There was no microtransactions, loot boxes, and stuff in the game, but there was microtransactions in the game. and people didn't play it. It's a shame because it was a good game, but it got turned off. People got turned off by it because so there was less people, right? Then you look at Battlefield, same type of thing. They're like monetizing and microtransaction stuff in the live service. And they're nickel and diming you for little things here and there. Destiny in the very beginning, people loved it, but then when Destiny 2 came out, they made it microtransaction galore with the I haven't played Destiny in such a long time. And one of the benefits of having COVID and having the fog brain is it literally wiped out that part of my brain with Destiny. What's the store in Destiny? I forget what it's called. Anyway, that's what they did, right? They put it in everywhere. They did everything with it, right? I can't think of the store. I can't think of the store. Eververse. Thank you, Chief. Right? Eververse. Right? So they put the Eververse in. And then there's just microtransactions galore. And then Marvel's Avengers comes out and says, we're giving you all the content for free. You're like, great. And then we waited for content. And it barely came. And then adding content, you had to wait 6 months for one mission. And you got to wait another 6 months for like 2 missions. And then you waited a full year to get the Wakanda, and then it wasn't really that long. It was okay. It was like 4 hours long, I think, if that was that, right? But man, those microtransactions and marketplace, they come out with suit after suit after suit after suit. That to me is not a live service game. That's a live marketplace game, right? That's a live marketplace game. But I mean, Avengers better than Anthem. At least Anthem was unique. Avengers just banked on the known quality. If there's anything, would say Avengers was worse. It's hard to say if Avengers was better than Anthem or if Anthem was better than Avengers. I think from a standpoint is you got to say Avengers was better than Anthem because Anthem didn't have a following. The following of Anthem was just from E3, saying that looks like a cool game. Marvel's Avengers is one of the largest IPs, and maybe that blinds us to say that it was a better game than Anthem, but there was more endgame in Marvel's Avengers than Anthem. The fighting in Marvel's Avengers, there was more characters to use, there was more stuff to do. The campaign was better in Marvel's Avengers than Anthem, in my opinion. So I don't know. That's a toss-up. Maybe eventually buy it when it drops to $25. OWB cares. Actually, the story was good. A good thing about Avengers game. Yeah, the story was good. I have a serious question for you. May I ask? You can ask. I don't have to answer. As someone who doesn't have internet where I live, should I even look at Suicide Squads or just wait for Spider-Man 2? I was excited for Suicide Squads, but Games as Service is worrying me. Well, if it comes out as a Games as Service, I would say wait. There's no if it's a co-op game and you have friends to play and they all buy the game, I would say get Suicide Squads. If you have a group to play with. But if you're a solo player and you're playing and you have to play with other players, we don't know. We don't know anything about this game. We don't know if you could play solo, if you have to play with people, if it's drop in, drop out. We don't really know much about Suicide Squads, right? I would personally get Spider-Man 2. If you're on a PlayStation and you have really bad internet, I would say get Spider-Man 2. You know that's a single player game. You know it's going to be a good quality from Insomniac because they've already done 2 other games, 3 games really, right? They have Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Ratchet and Clank, and they're all phenomenal games. So to go with Rocksteady makes good games as well, but they've never done a live service game before. So if this is a live service game, I would hold off and be like, you know what? I'm going to get Spider-Man because I know their 4th game is going to be really good. This is Rocksteady's 5th game, I believe, right? And it could be fantastic. But again, there's a lot up in the air. There's a lot up in the air for it. Now, obviously, this comes out in May. Spider-Man doesn't probably come out until October, so you got some time. Morning, Ford. Reverse side look at the games like Control is loved by everyone who played it, but it has DLC. That's it. I would argue that the DLC is fine as as it's a service, but costumes, that's not a service. How is that a service? Right, but that's my point. That's the whole point of the conversation. If it's a live service game and they put this game out Suicide Squad comes out, and let's say it's more like Gotham, or let's say it's more like Outriders, where you play through the single-player story, you play with your friends, you can jump on in, like Borderlands, okay, where you drop in, drop out, you grind Superman, you grind things. If it's a looter, obviously, it's going to be a live service game, because they're going to be putting new gear in. They might put new players in, like new anti-heroes in for Suicide Squad. Then we're in the same type of thing. Let's take that example for a second, right? Suicide Squad comes out. You have 4 people to start off. We had 6 in Marvel's Avengers. You have 4 in Suicide Squads. Then they added people to Marvel's Avengers, but they added cosmetics all the time, and you had to wait 4 months, 6 months for a person to come out. Then it was delayed and buggy and glitch. If Rocksteady comes out with 4 people, and then all of a sudden, 3 months down the line, they're like, oh, we're adding Bane. Oh, we're adding Tiger. They're adding characters as they go. Like, this is comparisons are starting to get bigger and bigger here, right? Look, I'm hoping this game is fantastic. I hope it's a fun-ass shooter. I hope it feels like Sunset Overdrive. I hope it feels like just a fun, I'm excited about this game for one reason and one reason only. Not because it's a looter, not because it's a shooter, because you get to be a bad guy or an anti-hero going up against good guys who are the bad guys in this viewpoint, right? You get to be Harley Quinn, or Deadshot, or Deathstroke, or King Shark, or Boomerang, and then you get to go against Superman, you get to go against Green Lantern, you get to go up against Batman, and I like that, when you get to fight the actual good guys. It's different. Hopefully this is good. Now, obviously, the leaked footage shows it's a marketplace, and I hope that the marketplace is not the foundation it was built on. I hope it was built on a great game with a marketplace, not a marketplace built with good combat, right? Jesse Mack says, I think the battle pass system in Suicide Squad is a very bad idea for shooter/looter. The only one good question, what is the quality of the end game of Suicide Squads? Well, that's just it, though, right? When you say there is a battle pass, or if you say there is a marketplace, and you call it a looter, when you say looter, everyone directly goes to, well, if it's a looter, that means there's going to be a lot of loot. That means I can grind people, and maybe there's going to be a raid, right? Maybe there's going to be a Brainiac raid, or maybe there's going to be some sort of, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of stuff going out. Is it Deadshot? I said Deadshot, then I said Deathstroke. Is it Deathstroke or Deathshot? I forget which one it is. Let me look it up. Deadshot. Yeah, it's Deadshot. And complete games with no monetization. Well, I mean, if you look at Outriders is a complete game, and it has no monetization, but the game is kind of like dead, right? So is it a game like Outriders then? Right? Is it a game like Outriders then? If I had to compare the two, I would rather have this game to be a Destiny or Division than an Outriders. On the fact that as long as they built this game, and they already have, like right now, they're working on, the main game is done. And right now they're working on content, not skins, content. Meaning 6 months from now, they're like, hey, we got brand new content coming out, and they put DLC out there. Different boards, different missions for you to grind and go through. Great. But if it's just, they tell you, oh yeah, the game's going to come out, we're going to support it for years down the road, and the supporting means that they're just doing updates, bug fixes, and microtransactions for the skins for the marketplace and the battle pass, then that just seems a little weird. I just went and played a little bit of DC Universe Online last night, right? After I got off stream, I was like, you know what? I'm going to jump in real fast. I haven't played in a while. I was like level 9 with my character. You can go up to level 33 and start going with the new... But there's like story missions, and they keep adding. Like chapter 40, right now you can play chapter 43 and chapter 44. Okay? And it's free content that you can play with your characters. And they have a huge marketplace for microtransactions to buy, XP boosts and all this other shit. I would almost rather have that, okay, than have what they did for Marvel's Avengers as far as cosmetic skins alone, right? Like where they if it's cosmetic skins, but they actually add content, story driven. It's a comic book game, man. Like if you're making a comic book game, like people buy it's comic books. Everyone buys comic books or used to buy comic books, and you would go every month to pick up the next issue because you want to continue the story. Like, how do you not see that as a video game like prospect of we made Suicide Squads? And we're going against Brainiac, and then maybe now we'll go against Lex Luthor, and then maybe we'll go against Two-Face, and then we'll go against Penguin, and then we'll go against... Like, you can just keep adding stories to this, right? It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. Now, I'm not saying they're not doing it. I'm just saying I hope they do it, instead of doing the exact same thing as everybody else has been doing. Morning, Stubby. Borderlands equals looter. Destiny equals games of service in the case of garbage. Well, Borderlands and Borderlands 2... I like their monetization's ways to go, right? You get all the skins and stuff in game, at least you did in 1 and 2, and you bought DLC. And within that DLC, there was more story. You could grind gear and whatnot for that. I like that model. Now, I know everyone else doesn't like that model because they have time and they want to get all the things and they want to do all... But look at what happened to Marvel's Avengers. Look at what happened to Anthem. You buy your cosmetics, and the games stop getting supported. Marvel's Avengers, you buy the cosmetics, and now they're giving all the cosmetics away for free, and they're not supporting the game anymore. So the people that spent hundreds of thousands of dollars buying these cosmetic skins, and it's just done, right? It's like no respect for the player's time. It wouldn't feel as bad if you could earn the stuff like in Spider-Man, where you could do a mission, and then at the end of the mission... it drops the piece of gear or has a shot to drop a piece of gear, and it gives you a reason to go back and try to do it again, right? Maybe there's a full set of gear, and if you're playing Harley Quinn and you beat Superman, all of a sudden there's a Superman-themed skin that you can put on your character, and you can collect the top and the bottom and the bat and whatever else, and then when someone looks at you, go, oh, cool, you got the whole set, makes you a reason to go, like, run that raid over and over again, right? Instead of... it doesn't really matter what the loot is. I'm just going to go to the store and buy the coolest costume. Little Creepy Monster says, I hope the Suicide Squad have some kryptonite-based weapons versus Superman. It's going to be interesting to see what unfolds in this game. Right. It would be cool. It would be interesting if, before you could fight Superman, let's say you have to do a mission where you get kryptonite gear. And one of the rewards is you get one piece of guaranteed gear, but so you have to run it a couple times to get like the armor or the weapon, and then you can go run the raid or the boss fight against Superman, right? Be interesting. To be clear, I'm not saying I want Deathstroke added. Not that's in the game. What I think, if they're going to make it a battle pass live service type of thing, hell, I would be okay with this. How about this? They add a battle pass, okay, and the free or the well, see, it gets into a weird thing. I'm gonna say the next thing out of my mouth, and it's gonna sound terrible, but if they do a battle pass, it would have to be on the free track. But at the end of the battle pass, you could unlock the new character to use. Let's say Deathstroke was in the game at the end of the battle pass, right? For everyone. It's free to get the actual thing. Okay. But the problem with that is if it's paid, then everyone would just pay for it. So if it cost $80 or $100 to complete it, people could just pay for it and then get Deathstroke. And then it would be like a pay to win conversation. And there should be a way of, at the end of, how about this? I got it. They add new content, story-based content. And at the end of the content, you unlock that character. So if you do the story, right, you purchase the story, the DLC. And in that story, you're saving maybe one of the other, or escaping them from prison, or saving them from being killed by one of the good guys, as Superman or Batman. And then you save that character, and then you can become that character. And then you have 5 people, 6 people in your lineup, something like that. I don't know, something. That's just me coming up with real fast ideas that you could keep me coming back, where it's free content, You pay for the DLC, the content happens, the story-wise, and at the end of the story, you get that other character. Right? So it's opened up to everybody. Who they need to look at for an example on how to support the game? Dying Light. I don't know what Dying Light does. I have a question. So, what are the minuses? No, the minions you're beating up if you're a bad guy. Are they the police? No. You would probably be beating up from the trailer, Sarge. You're probably beating the minions that you're beating up is Brainiac's alien race that he has. Right? There's like 4 or 5 different like alien race type of guys and whoever else they haven't shown yet. Dying Light got nearly 5 years of support and most of it added to story, even if it was only 3 missions, but still, I'm okay with that. If they added the DLC, now was that 5 years of support? Did you have to buy those 3 missions or was that free 3 missions? This is why I never bought a single character in the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. I earned it with the game credits. Right, and I'm okay with that as well. If I could grind, but then they make the game grindier for the people that want to play. All right, Stealth, have a good one, man. Yes, I like that idea, 30. I'm playing a lot of ESO lately, and that's what they do with the armor sets. Right. Whereas it sounds, I would even say that the WWE games do this well. All the legends and such are earned via the game credits. Then DLC monetization is for one mode, my faction, that's it. Well, here's a perfect thing, right? The fighting game Multiverses by WB, right? WB Multiverses. You can purchase the character by getting the credits, or you can earn the credits by completing mission objectives and weeklies and dailies and have enough and then purchase the character to unlock the character. I'm okay with that. Because in my eyes, if you like the game and you're grinding, you're going to grind the game anyway. Now, obviously, you're not going to collect all of them unless you really put a lot of time in. So if you want to collect all, you would have to maybe either put a lot of time in or put a lot of money in. But I would be okay with that. Sarge, didn't you see Wreck-It Ralph? Just because you're evil doesn't mean you're a bad guy. My theory is Suicide Squads, what if you're fighting against Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Superman, and then defeat Brainiac, and then the mind control wear off, and you unlock Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, and Superman? I don't think they're going... The game is called Suicide Squad, right? And Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and them, not in my knowledge, were never part of Suicide Squad. Now, there was articles written like a year and a half ago that said that you could kill. Like, I even brought it up a little bit. The developers said that years ago that you'll be able to kill some of the Justice League. Now, that would be a cool concept, Jesse, right? If you could, and this could be a possible thing, right? Like, so let's say Bane is a bad guy in the game, right? He's getting mind controlled by Brainiac. And if you save Bane, okay, so let's say all of us are playing. Me, you, Jesse, Sarge, and Comic are all playing the game. Okay, we're on a 4-squad team. We're playing for the very first time. We go up against Bane, and we kill Bane. Well, then none of us can get Bane to be on our roster. But if we capture Bane, sort of like a Monster Hunter type of thing, okay? If you capture Bane, then Bane becomes a playable character for you. That would be interesting. So let's say you're playing by yourself and you happen to capture Bane, but then you want to help us, and I'm like, oh, dude, where'd you get Bane from? You're like, I captured Bane by fighting Bane, and Bane's over in this section. I'm like, cool, let's go do that, right? And then we get in a group, and then we have to capture Bane, and then we all unlock Bane. Whoever doesn't have Bane gets Bane. And maybe if you unlock Bane, maybe if you beat him again or capture him again, maybe you get a skin. Instead of, because you already have it, so you're not wasting your time, maybe you get a themed skin for Bane. So then you can take Boomerang, if you were Boomerang, and you're running Boomerang, and you captured Bane, and then all of a sudden you beat Bane again, you captured him again, and now you have resources or material, or you get some sort of skin that makes you look like Bane, like you get a t-shirt that says, I beat Bane, or whatever. Something along the lines of that would be interesting. Playable characters when are done in the main story thoughts. I don't think they'll let you play as Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, because if I could be Superman, I don't think you'll be able to capture Superman. I think you have to kill Superman. Or Superman just becomes like a quest giver or something like that, right? It all depends on where the game goes, because if you beat the story, and if it's a live service game, how do I fight those characters again? Right? Because if I'm beating them, I'm getting some loot from them, or I'm getting something, or some kind of reward from them. But if I save them and now they're out of the game, can I go back even though I already saved Superman? Can I fight him again? I don't know. Some was bought and some was free. Big expansions cost, but those had like 20 missions. Stuff with 3 missions was free. Dying Light, I mean. Yeah, I got you. Start says respect the player's time. Why respect their time if you can steal their money? No, what Sarge is saying to you is, if you're bad guys, he's saying you got to stick with the bad guys, right? So, like, the Justice League is not part of the Suicide Squad. I'm assuming that's what Sarge is saying. Like, so you got to stick with the bad guys. Yeah, it won't happen. WB isn't skilled enough to pull off Monster Hunter style anything. You're making sense again, 30. Just stop it. You know you won't. It won't happen. Yeah. Kill Superman. WB would never allow you to kill a poster psychopath who does things because I want Lois. Well, they did say that you won't be able to kill certain characters. I think that list was, even though I said you should kill Superman, I think the ones that they said that couldn't get killed was Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. I think you were able to kill Green Lantern, Flash, and Aquaman, if I remember the article a long time ago. Or the quote. It wasn't really an article, it was more of a quote. But who knows? If you guys are here and you liking the conversation that we're having in the back and forth, if you hit that like button, it helps us out a lot, and it takes literally less time than me telling you to hit that like button. You're definitely not killing Batman or Superman. Right. They're too iconic of a character, and I don't think you're going to kill Wonder Woman either. You won't be able to kill Superman. Now, I don't want to go into detail, but there was a rumor about what happens in the game, like the story. I don't know if it's real or fake, but you don't get to kill people, but doesn't mean other people don't get to kill people in the game. I still think it's hilarious that they passed off Injustice Superman as evil. I was like, no, this is Superman, period. Injustice version is just willing to admit it. I will hack the game. Batman is done. I don't know. Batman and Superman are the kings, of DC, and Wonder Woman's the queen. And I don't think you'll be able to kill them. Obviously, I think it's dumb. I think if you're making a video game, you should be able to kill. It's a video game, right? It doesn't mean it's like a canon, and they kill people off all the time, bring them back in comics. I think it would be dumb or a missed opportunity, because that would be an achievement. Go around. It would say go around and save all the Justice League, and then it'll say go around and kill all the Justice League, right? I want to know how it's going to happen. How are you going to go up against Superman? How are you going to go up against Superman? Look at this last part right here, right? This last part right here, when they're looking, all of a sudden the helicopter comes behind, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Superman!" They're like, "Oh." Like, how are these 3 or 4 guys, 4 people that are, right? How? How are these people going to compete against Superman? Superman can just laser beam them and be done. So you got to be getting help. You got to be getting help from somebody. You know? You ever watch The Boys? Superman is Homelander. Only difference is that, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen season 1. You know? So, obviously, I don't think you're going to be able to fight Superman. There's going to be something in the game where you have to beat Brainiac to break the spell of Superman, because you're not going to be able to kill him. But somebody might be able to kill him. We'll see. But what do you guys think? Right? What do you guys think as far as, is this a make or break for you? Are you tired of these? I know. What was the other one? What was the other game that we played? Marvel's Event, not a Marvel's. For God's sakes, let me look it up on my phone real fast. Did I take it off? What was that other Marvel's game that we used to play? Ultimate Alliance. Oh, Marvel Revolution. That was it. Yeah. Come on, Luke. Yeah. Yeah, Marvel Revolution, right? That's dead. Why? Because there wasn't enough people buying the skins, right? So if you buy the stuff, they'll keep making stuff for you to buy. But if you enjoy the game, they're not going to make you more of the game. You see what I'm saying? Marvel's Avengers, Marvel Future Revolution, right? These games, they don't give you content. They're giving you DLC of skins. With either Kryptonite or Suicide Squad does magic characters with also a weakness. Right, but those characters are not in the game, though, as of right now, Dave, right? We only know about the 4 characters. Break the fourth wall with kidnap the WB writer and force him to do revenge for years for doing it for Superman. Oh, I get it now. So guessing that would kill off some of these less known DC characters inside the Justice League. Right. Like if they brought Robin, like if Batman and Robin were in the game, you would kill Robin or Nightwing. They're like, whatever, you kill those guys off, but you're not killing off Batman. You're not killing off, like you are not killing off. So if they kill off Batman, let's say like Wonder Woman fights him and then and kills him, or Superman, or vice versa type of thing. Or an NPC, like a villain, like Brainiac says, well, if I can't have Superman, then nobody can, then he kills him or something, you know? Here's a couple problems I see with this game, right? One, if it's not a live service game and it's just one and done, okay, 4-player co-op, one and done, and they don't support it after the fact with DLC. You're going to play it, you're going to beat the story, and then you put it down and you'll never pick it up again. Because it doesn't really matter if you play as Boomerang or Harley Quinn. So you might get, let's say the campaign is 10 hours. So you get 40 hours out of it if you play with each of the characters one time. If it's a looter, you'll play a little bit more, but then there has to be end game. And that turns into, there's got to be some sort of live service to it. Because if it's not live service and it has end game, it turns into Outriders. And Outriders is kind of dead as far as the majority of the people that play it. Like, you liked it, you played it, but the excursions, is that what they were called? I think they were called excursions, right? You put it down. Another one, like Luke is saying, it's another Gotham Knights, right? So you play, you have 4 characters, you have the 4 good guys in a wide open world, fighting criminals, getting gear. You put it in on your character to make your character more powerful to go, do heroic assaults and fight the boss fights. Well, let's take that same concept. 4 characters. Don't add any more characters to the game. You have an open world. You can go anywhere on the world. And again, I'm speculating. You go anywhere in this open world to fight the bosses that you want to fight. Instead of fighting Mr. Freeze, now you're fighting Superman. Instead of fighting Harley Quinn, now you're fighting, Wonder Woman or Batman. Okay. You're not getting any kind of gear per se from them. You're just kind of beating them, going through the story. Then after the fact, you get to fight them again to get higher said gear. Does this game have a live service aspect, or is it like Gotham? Or is it like Marvel? Or is it like Borderlands? It's a WB game. So does WB have this template of how to make it where they have 4 characters? 4 characters. Open world? Open world. There's loot and gear. There's loot and gear, but we don't know what it is yet in Suicide Squads. Potentially. So wait, it's called Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, but wait, you don't get to kill all of them. I'm out. It's everybody. It's everybody or I'm out. We need the upside down pyramid if it's that kind of game. If it's that type of game you're talking, Luke, it's got to be a live service game, but it's got to be upside down pyramid. If it's a one and done, you're playing the story and then that's it. Here's the biggest problem I see with it. You have to give extra content people want. Look at Avengers. If it had, 6 DLC characters and nobody wanted any of them. Well, nobody wanted any of them because they were taking characters and making echo characters, right? They gave us 2 bow and arrow guys in the very start. Like if you're gonna put Clint, cool. They announced Clint first, and then all of a sudden they said, "Oh, Kate Bishop's coming in as well." And you're like, "Oh, okay." And then they gave us Mighty Thor, but you already have Thor in there. And then they said they were going to bring Ironheart, which you already have Iron Man, right? Then they brought Bucky in, and you already have Captain America and Black Widow type of stuff. Like they could have brought other characters in, like Doctor Strange as a magic character, but they chose not to, right? So I don't want to say I hate it that they gave us that. I mean, they did give us more characters. Then you look at like Marvel's Future Revolution, where they had characters all around, and they were bringing in characters that were good, like Wolverine at the end, but then they stopped supporting the game, and they were done. But the companions, they did a good job with the companions, but the problem was they were companions, right? I don't understand how it's a hard concept to go, hey, I'm going to make this game, and we're going to throw you a bunch of heroes or characters to use, right? Suicide Squad should have 10 guys, minimum, starting off. Okay, start off 10 people. There you go. Here's Suicide Squad. But they gotta stretch it out, and that goes back to the marketplace. That goes back to the battle pass. Like, if there's a battle pass, there's got to be more story, more DLC kind of content that they're going to be putting in. Why Suicide Squad sneak into Batman, steal Batman's kryptonite suit to defeat Superman? Could be. What about if they did something like this, Jesse? This would be interesting, right? I'm coming off the top of my head from just reading what you said. What if you save Batman, he gives you the kryptonite stuff, right? You earn it that way. Or you have to do it the hard way by, if you kill Batman, then you got to go get Batman's stuff, and you have to go through a whole different like chain. Like almost almost the way you do stuff affects the way you do stuff. That'd be interesting, right? Like there's like a moral type of decision. You could do it the easy way, or you could do it the hard way. We wanted characters like Wanda, Stephen Strange, Captain Marvel, not Thor with tits. Future Revolution isn't dead, but they're not supporting it anymore. They're not supporting it anymore. I hate a battle pass on a paid game. Right. That's another whole thing, right? It's a full-fledged game, and then they're going to charge you a battle pass on top of that. Man, that would suck though, huh? It's in the title. It's called Kill the Justice League, and then you can't kill any of them. That's false advertisement. I bet you someone sues for that. Be like, I bought this game because I thought I could kill the Justice League, and then nobody. I read they're still supporting it. Didn't they say they're not supporting it? I'm pretty sure they said they're not supporting it. Let's see. I could have sworn they said they weren't supporting it anymore. Brett would like to sincerely apologize for the lack of communication, delays, and responding after our last update. What was their last? When was this update? This is developer notes. This is dev update. That's October 27th. When did they announce it? They announced it. Go developer notes here. Is that the last one? 14? Okay, unfortunately, in our current circumstances and due to recent reductions in development team, it is now a necessity to reduce the scale of service going forward. We will not be creating updates of the size, scope, and previous content releases, but ensure agents have had comfort that they will be able to continue playing the game uninterrupted. We know this is a news that may be disappointing to our agents, and we also sincerely apologize. You have been by our side since the beginning and have championed on the game in the earliest days. Now we bow our heads in gratitude and support the feedback. Okay, so they're doing the bare minimum, which is basically what the whole conversation was about in the very beginning of my talk today, right? That's what we're worried about. That if you don't support the game by buying microtransactions and all the stuff, they can't do what they want to do by adding more stuff because the team was overwhelmed by stuff. And so they lowered the team down. They shrunk the team down. And they're not going to do as big as content anymore. So they're doing the bare minimum, but still trying to get the biggest outcome out of it, right? Sarge says, come on, bro. At the end of the mission is smash and grab from the Batcave to get the kryptonite gun or suit. Then the raid is kill Superman. I mean, that would be cool. What is the spare Batman crap? Come on, dude. This isn't BioWare. Sarge just wants to be a bad guy in the game. That's it. Sarge loves being the bad guys. I don't trust WB or Rocksteady to do a player choice. Is that what you put there? Look, as of right now, I'm not giving shade to Rocksteady, right? I'm putting out the facts that this game is setting up just like the other games before it's set up. Right? Show us cool things. Show us cinematics. We're like, oh, this looks good. Show us a little bit of gameplay. We're like, oh, this looks interesting. And then it comes out and it's kind of like, eh. The gunplay was great. The fighting was great. This was great. But then the game itself is lackluster and microtransactions. And this is lackluster and microtransactions. Please, no console character exclusives. Everybody should be able to enjoy all the content. Oh, God. If they do that, Monster, I'll tell you what. If they do that, I probably won't get the game at all. I won't get the game at all. It pissed me off. And if someone says, it's because Sony owns Spider-Man, I'm going to punch you in the face. Okay? Because obviously, it's not because Spider-Man's owned by Sony. They only own the rights to the actual film, not the actual video game. They paid to get that exclusive for it, okay? And if they do that with one of these other characters, I don't think I'll buy that game at all. At all. Because I'm not buying a game anymore that I'm paying the Hogwarts. I'm doing it right now, and I'm done with it, okay? I hate the fact that I have to pay the exact same amount of money as somebody else, and they get more content than me, right? That pisses me off. Think of this. What if you have to find all the kryptonite parts to craft out of the map? That would be interesting. If there was some sort of like to fight Superman. You got to get the drops. That's what I said earlier. I said you got to find the weapon with kryptonite. You got to find the armor with kryptonite. And the more pieces of gear you have with kryptonite, the better you'll have time you'll have against Superman. Like you could go in and you'll have a hell of a time if you have nothing. Okay, but if you have the weapon or if you have the armor, if you have 2 pieces of 5 or something like that, then it would be better. You can't use extortion. That's don't buy skins, don't make content bullshit. What game are we talking about? We're talking about Suicide Squad's Water. I had a little part up front that you can listen to. It's about 10 minutes long or so. Good morning, Water. So what I'm hearing is the easiest terms possible is just make like an AC Valhalla and Sony owns Spider-Man. That's right. Isn't Red Hood exclusive? Where did you hear that? Where does it say Red Hood's exclusive for Suicide Squad? I just want a good game, man. I want a good game without being. I don't want a homework assignment. Like if it's a looter, cool, right? But I hope there's endgame, and I hope there's more content. I hope they treat this comic book game, live service game, if it is a live service game, like a comic book IP, meaning add more stories, add more substance to the game, and keep going. Red Hood's exclusively my character. Like, I haven't heard that Red Hood is in Suicide Squad. Like yesterday, I played DC Universe Online, and I played for maybe about 30 minutes. And in that time, I fought Bane, and then I fought Laughing Batman, right? Or the is that what it's called? The really dark, freaking the huge grin with the band. What is his name? What's his name? And I was like, oh, this is cool. Right? I fought 2 different guys that I haven't fought in any other games before. Right? Well, that's not true. Bane was in the other games. Batman Who Laughs. Thank you, Water. Right? I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Now, obviously, DC Universe Online doesn't have the best combat or whatnot, but I was actually enjoying myself. The Spidey exclusive or Avengers game killed my inspiration to play. Still sad Insomniac is doing Wolverine instead of someone good, like Punisher. I think Wolverine's going to be... I think that's going to be a great game. Now, I'm being biased, though, Travis. I'll be honest with you. I'm a huge Wolverine fan. And I think that character itself would be fantastic. Would be fantastic. Water says, what? What did I say? What did I say that you say what? Oh, you're saying what to Wolverine. You're saying what to Wolverine. Yeah, I think that game is going to be amazing. One, I have nothing, just like I have nothing really to go off of because of Rocksteady. Rocksteady has made, if Rocksteady told me they weren't making Suicide Squad game and they were just making a single player game, I would feel much more at ease, okay? Because they're fantastic at making those type of games. But now they're making a live service game, potentially. And I'm a little worried because anyone that does a live service game, it's the first time they're doing a live service game. And some of them go up in smoke, man. And the rest of them, they learn across the way. So hopefully Rocksteady is the latter, right? Is a good company that's doing this, if it is a live service game. Punisher is a B-lister and got decent exposure because of John Berthal. Yeah. I would be a huge Wolverine fan if he hadn't had the emotional growth of Duke Nukem in the years. Dude is the same bastard he was in the 90s. Sure, but if you're looking at this game as a origin story, or we find out, right, obviously you know the origin story, I know the origin story, he knows the origin story, she knows the origin story, but it's never been done in a video game in a one-on-one type of thing. So it could be interesting. I mean, they could literally, if I was Marvel, and I've talked about this, Krebsy, me, and talked about this, we've talked about this on our streams live, right? If I was Marvel Games, okay, I would have as many people make a video game as possible. Single player story. I would give out, like, if I wanted to make an Avengers game before Avengers came out, I would have gave like EA, Thor, or Iron Man, whatever, because they are doing that, right? I would have gave Sony like the Spider-Man and then whatever. And you have Iron Man from this company and Spider-Man from this company and this company over here and this company over here. And then Marvel Studios themselves makes a game that Marvel's Avengers, okay? And it's that character. Maybe not the same art style, but it's the voice who did that character. It's the voice who did that character. You know that Spider-Man from Sony's game, Insomniac game, is the same Spider-Man that's in Marvel Studios game that they made the Avengers game, right? And you bring them all together. You do exactly what you did for the films, but with video games. You make a gaming universe, Marvel gaming universe. Because it would be cool, right? It would be amazing. Well, so is the Punisher. He has not had growth as a character. Same old murder he has been since day one. Right. Well, you could look at, what I'm saying is you've never played that character. You see what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, I know there was a Punisher game, which actually was pretty good back in the day. The biggest reason I'm excited for it is that Insomniac will probably finally make him something more than, oh, bub. Did I say bub enough? Bub? I think they're going to do a great job. Insomniac did a kick-ass job with Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I think they're going to knock it out of the park with Spider-Man 2, and they knocked it out of the park with Ratchet and Clank. So until they make a game that's not awesome, I can't say that Wolverine's going to be a bad game. Marvel's Avengers should have been beginning of the MCU game version. They screwed it up. I watched that trailer in my own video when I showed the original trailer of Marvel's Avengers Water, and I looked at Captain America, and then I looked at what Captain America was in the game afterwards, after they made all the suit. It looks completely different. Completely different when they first showed him. They didn't know what they wanted to do with that game, man. They didn't want to be a part of Marvel's Avengers, right? They didn't want to be part of it, but then they made the skins to look them more like the MCU than they did from the original stuff. The only people who really know about the Punisher are comic heads, the people who watch the Netflix show. However, he would make a great gaming character. Sure, a lot of characters would make a great character. How do you not have an X-Men game? How do you not have an X-Men game all these years? All this great discussion for Suicide Squad versus the Justice League is getting me excited for the game. I want this game. I do. I want this game to be good. I do. I want this game to be good. I don't want it to be but I see the same people that defended Marvel's Avengers saying that, oh, it's not a big deal that there's skins and they want to support the game because of skins, and then at the end they're against the skins and they're against the game because now the game is dead. It doesn't do them any good anymore, so they change their ways. I like to bring up concerns before and have conversations before. I look at things realistically, right? All games to me are not great or terrible. Like, criticizing a game doesn't make me cynical, right? But being realistic and looking at what a game could be good or bad for gaming or the industry, we don't know what it is. So someone being super hyped about it or me being critical of it is the exact same. You know shit about it. I know shit about it. You're hyped up for it. I'm not as hyped up. I'm a little bit more skeptical, okay? And being skeptical doesn't make me cynical or criticizing. So I'm looking at it from a non-biased way. Like, I want Rocksteady to come out and make this game fantastic. But the way the industry is, you're looking at it going, I don't know. Like, I still have my concerns with Hogwarts Legacy, right? I think the frame rates, WB has issues with all of their games they've had with frame rate issues. Do we think anything like this is going to not happen with Hogwarts Legacy? Even in the trailers that we saw, they had drop frames and pop-ins and stuff like that. So hopefully when the game comes out, it doesn't have those problems. Insomniac has never made a bad game. Sunset Overdrive, Xbox was awesome, as well as all old Ratchet games. Yeah. Until they make a bad game, I can't say that them making a Wolverine or anything is going to be a bad game. Same with Rocksteady. Rocksteady has made great games. I'd rather get a game for someone who doesn't get enough screen time instead of a dude who's pushed to nauseasm. Well, that's hard to do. No one's buying a game of Jubilee. You know what I mean? No one's gonna buy a single player game of Jubilee. No one's gonna buy a game of just I don't know, Puck. Do you know what I mean? So you got to get popular characters and then add them into the game. When are you gonna learn, man? In today's world, gamers are synonymous for hypocrite. Well, it's amazing to see Marvel's Avengers go from what it was to what it is, which is the same game. Okay, what it was and what it is the exact same game, but the people flip-flopping back and forth. I'm definitely not buying it day one. I'll grab it a year down the road or Black Friday for $20. This is why I'm torn on getting it for PC or PlayStation 5. They do have 60 frames per second mode on the console, though. Condiment Man game. Yeah. Look at my friend. He said, boycott Hogwarts because Rowling was honest. Last part I added, soon as he learned she already had her money, he rushed out and bought it. I mean, that's... each their own. Each their own. I, for one, am not a goldfish. I'm also not a sheep. If someone wants to boycott something, by all means, go ahead and boycott it. Just make sure you don't buy that game afterwards. Hence why, if you boycott something, you shouldn't say it out loud. Just don't buy it. I would argue, I can't pronounce your name, but I would argue that the industry made many of us players cynics, at least partially. Of course, because I always use the analogy of this, right? Where if you go to someone's house, you don't own a dog, right? You don't own a dog. Go to someone's house, and all of a sudden that dog bites you, a little nip or something, right? From now on, for the majority of people, right? For the majority of people, you would be hesitant when you see that dog again, if not all dogs, because you've had a bad experience, right? You could have met a whole bunch of dogs beforehand, but that one time you met a dog and it bit you, you're going to be a little more hesitant around dogs. Right? Takashi? Nice. Well, nice to meet you. Right? So, the majority of the people, when you get bit by a dog, will be like, whoa, I don't really like dogs, right? So you're a little hesitant now going in. And I think a lot of the games that, if you haven't been burned yet, but you hear about people being burned, and then that one time when it comes to your door and you buy a game and then all of a sudden you get buyer's remorse or you regret it or you're like, I know what they're talking about now, right? Now you know what everyone was talking about. My point is gamers are hypocrites. What about a koala? Selective outrage. That's Gen Z is known for. I can't wait for Marvel Spider-Man 2 with OG Tony Todd voice of Venom. It feels like he's the first Spider-Man 2 honor / darker game then. Yeah, I'm excited. This year's I said the trifecta or the what's fourfecta? Is it fourfecta? The trifecta, is it fourfecta? No. Is there a word for anyway, you got Hogwarts, right? You got Harry Potter, you got Star Wars, you got Marvel, and then potentially you have Transformers. That's huge this year for me. Oh, and actually, you have Lord of the Rings coming out. That's the fifth one. Gollum was just announced that it's coming out sometime this year. And you have Avatar. That's six. I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It's like 7 or 8 like IP brands that are coming out this in 1 year. I'm gonna gamble and buy it day one. Suicide Squad. Monsters went through a complete and utter cycle live on chat. Like, he's in live chat. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to buy this game. I'm getting pretty excited about this game. You know what? I'm going to pick it up day one. Exactly. Burn me once. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And a lot of people don't even need to get burned, right? Because of the internet, someone's like, this is a bad game, this is a bad game, this is a bad game. And you're like, you know what? I think I'm going to wait. I think I'm going to wait before I buy this game. Trading Left, as someone who doesn't play online at all, I have yet to be burned by a game. Maybe signed a little but never burned, or singed a little but never burned. Well, if you buy the single player games, I think you're okay. The getting burned part is part of a live service type of game, right? The ones with the microtransactions and the battle passes are either free to play, or they're games that they put a battle pass in or a marketplace in, and they don't ever add content at a consistent basis, right? They constantly add skins, and the marketplace every week gets updated regardless, right? The servers could shut down, but that damn store will update with a brand new skin for you. Gundams in disguise. 10 more minutes, he'll be going into pre-order. He's already, as you type that, he's like, I'm pre-order. Oh, no, delete. We're not gonna pre-order yet. I'll wait a couple of minutes. I'll wait till the stream's over. I'll wait for the stream to be over. I am, for one, am excited for Suicide Squads. I still am. The screenshot coming out doesn't bother me, okay? Because I don't buy cosmetics. So going in right now, this is the way my brain works. I'm like, okay, if this is a live service game, right? If this is a games of service, is this a live service with a marketplace and a battle pass? I will play the game. I will play the single player story. I will go through. I will grind up to a certain point, and then I'll be like, I'm good, and I'll put it down, right? And that's what I'll do. That's how I play these type of games. I don't continue on. I don't wait for games to come out. If Suicide Squads is the exact same type of game as Marvel's Avengers, I will play it a crap ton, and I will criticize it and give it props when they need props and when they need to get criticized, right? Hopefully they don't do the exact same thing what Marvel's Avengers did. Marvel's Avengers, if you watched my video yesterday, literally was behind the times the entire time that game came out. It dropped, and they were fixing bugs and constantly fixing bugs the entire time for 2.5 years. But that marketplace, man, was spotless. That marketplace came in all the time. And marketplace skins would come in the game, and they would glitch and bug out and do all these other things, and they had to fix those as well. They were chasing the skins they were putting in the game. They were constantly chasing the fixes in that game. If Suicide Squad comes out, and they're doing that, then it's going to be exactly like Anthem, exactly like Marvel's Avengers. But if this game comes out and it's not buggy or glitchy, and it's actually a fun shooter with a looter aspect of it, and it's not chasing their own ass trying to fix this game, then it will be a good game. But if it's a half-ass, broken, buggy game when it comes out as a live service game, and it's just an okay campaign, and they're constantly fixing it as you go, waiting for fixes to happen, but the marketplace just keeps getting upgraded, then there's going to be a problem. After seeing Gotham Knights, I'm kind of good on DC games for a 4-player co-op. Meaning you're okay, like you want to play a 4-player co-op because I see what you're saying. You're saying you're good, like you're good. Like I saw Gotham's. I don't need a 4-player co-op game. Did you hear Soundwave and Starscream are locked behind a massive paywall? Short version, you have to give a kidney and give a pinky to get them. All right. I don't know about my pinkies. I like my pinkies, but maybe I'll give a kidney. Takashi, right? That's the correct, right? Takashi, correct? If the cosmetics are awesome and the end game is great, I'll buy a few cosmetics for my main. I don't mind doing that as long as the costumes don't grant me special powers. Well, that's a whole nother conversation, Water. Right? That's a whole nother conversation. If the cosmetics are just cosmetics. And Legends of Zelda Tears of Kingdoms is also coming out pretty soon, May 12th. Oh, that's my birthday. That means 7 huge game IPs that are coming out this year. Yeah, I'm not buying all of them. I'm not going to be buying all of them. I hope Tears of Kingdom is better than Breath of the Mild. I am not going to get the newest. Lono asked me this the other day. He's like, "Did you play it?" And I said, "Yeah, I did play the first Zelda game, Breath of the Wild." I said, "But I'll have to be honest. When I bought it at the time when it came out, I was pulling like late shifts and stuff like that. When I would sit down and play the game, I would fall asleep because of the music and stuff. I never completed the game, so I'm not gonna get Breath of the Wild or Kingdoms, whatever, because I didn't complete the first one. Gotham Knights what made by Rocksteady Suicide Squads is. Sure. But we're still comparing. If it's not a live service game, Water, then it would be like Gotham Knights, right? Because it's a closed off game, meaning there's not going to be updates or DLC, right? It's going to be a play the game. You have 4 characters. You could beat the game as Harley Quinn. You could beat the game as King Shark. You could beat the King, as Deadshot or Boomerang. So you can make comparisons, especially since it's a WB. It's still published by WB, right? Obviously, it's a different game, but people were comparing Gotham Knights to Batman Arkham series, which was the opposite effect. They were comparing WB game Montreal to Rocksteady's games and their own, but the Rocksteady's game. So now they're just going to compare Rocksteady game back to what Gotham Knights is, which is weird because then it should get compared to their own Rocksteady games. Very confusing. I'm going to take Batgirl for a spin on her Bat Cycle in Gotham Knights now. I enjoyed that game. I enjoyed the game. I thought the campaign was good, but after the fact, right, it was just, it's boring. It's done. If they want me to come back to Gotham Knights, they got to add more case files. Give me Two-Face. Give me a boss fight for Two-Face. Give me a different heroic assault type of thing. Like, that's what they have to do to get me back over there. There's no reason to play. There's no reason for me to upgrade. There's no reason for me to get the highest gear level. For what? What am I doing? Twilight Princess Breath of the Wild. My comparison wasn't the company one. I said DC 4-player co-op. Rocksteady only had 1 L for so far from me, and I saw. What was that, Duke? Which one was that? For computer or gaming. I'm here in Japan. The game is a lot for my girlfriend gave me that one. Gotcha. Don't care if I get hate. I'm honest. Gotham Knights, Elden Dog Water. Suicide Squad versus the Justice League. You're saying the loss is the one that's coming out now. It could be. It could be. You know, a lot of people give Bethesda crap for their games, but yet Morrowind, Oblivion, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Skyrim, they all sold a crap ton, didn't they? Wait, let me look it up. Let me see. Right? People give Fallout 3 a lot of crap. But for some reason, it sold 12.4 million. Right? A lot of people gave Elder Scrolls Online a lot of crap, but 18 million sales. Skyrim got a lot of crap for being buggy and glitchy with the dragons going backwards, but it sold 30 million copies. Right? Lots of people give crap to companies that make glitchy, buggy games, but for some reason, they still make millions and tens and 20s and hundreds of millions. Right? Fallout 76 was the first bad game that they did, and now everyone thinks Starfield's going to crash and burn because of it. But I don't think it's because of Bethesda. I think it's because of the industry instead. Superman 64 greater than Elden Dogwater. You didn't like Elden Ring? I mean, each their own, but come on. Superman 64 better than Elden Ring? Get out of here. Suicide Squad has a special appeal. Sound like a lot of fun. Sure, I think it'll be a lot of fun. I never asked, did you like Velma? Never watched it, Duke. Not going to. I knew I wasn't going to watch. I don't even want to hate watch it. I don't even want to hate watch it. I'm done hate watching stuff, man. I'm done hate watching. I'm not gonna watch something. I know I could watch something and then shit on it, but I want to respect the people's time, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm gonna watch it and then make a video of it on Nerding with 30. I don't want to do it. I don't want to hate watch. I'm okay if a show's good and there's good and bad, and we're literally talking about the good and bad and stuff like that. But I don't want to hate watch something. If it's bad, I don't need to watch it. I don't need to waste my time, and I don't need to waste other people's time by making content of stuff that, you know. Starfall Field is going to be the biggest disappointment of 2025 when it comes out. Good to hear that Transformers Reactivate will be moving to Unreal Engine 5. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's moving. I think it is Unreal Engine 5, isn't it? We knew it was Unreal Engine 4 from when Certain Infinity was working on it. I think since they took over, I think it's been on Unreal Engine 5. I think we're just finding out about it, right, Slayer? That's why I said I couldn't say it with a straight face. Elden Ring equals Velma. I don't even want to have a conversation about Elden Ring. I don't even know, like, as a game, it's a good game. If you didn't like the story or the way the story was driven, I can understand that. But then again, Dark Souls type games, this is like Dark Souls Light. A lot of people don't like those type of games. I haven't seen it, and normally I hate watching thing. And I want them to know it's so bad that I'm not even going to give them a minute of my time. It's exactly how I feel. Because this is the way I look at it, right? I look at it as when you're in a small group, if someone hate watches and you're all watching it to laugh about it, cool. And there's a lot of people making a lot of money. And I'm not giving any shade to people on YouTube that hate watch, because I watch those people, right? I watch those people that watch it, and that's how I get my info on that type of show, right? The comedy of it, right? The comedy that they make into the hate watching of it. I watch those type of people because it's entertaining to me. But there's so many of those channels now, and there's so many people that want to hate watch to be a part of that conversation for the live streams and stuff, that the show looks like it's more popular than it is, because and so they're getting smart to it, right? I truly believe that Velma was created based on the culture that is happening on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? They're writing and doing the stuff on purpose to get the views and stuff, so it's popular, and they're making money. Because how do they make money? By ad revenue and relevancy. If you don't watch it and don't talk about it, it literally goes away like a fart in the wind. Okay? Nobody talks about it. Nobody does anything. Just gone. I have a suggestion for all the Scooby-Doo fans out there that's older than myself. Mystery Incorporated. Elden Ring beating Stray, Horizon Forbidden West, and Ragnarok are all of which were better than Elden Ring. Prove to me Game of the Year is rigged. Well, Travis, I knew it was going in. I've said this all the time. All award shows are rigged. All award shows are rigged. Okay? There's people in the industry, in the movie industry, that their movies get nominated more than other people's movies, and actors that get nominated more, and what feels like a feel good. They'll nominate certain movies and certain actors because it looks good for the drama and who wins and like the biggest comeback, and it's good for Hollywood. Same thing with video games. Same things with those type of stuff. First day buy for me, Transformers game using Unreal Engine. Well, you don't have to buy it. It's free to play. So, speaking of Souls types games, anticipating Wolong and Black Myth Wukong. Wolong I'm not interested in. Wukong I am, but that's not coming out until next year, summer, I think they said. Isn't a Souls game. It's a plot, therefore it's not Souls. Oh, there is a plot, so there is no Souls. I think they need to stop giving the shows 2 seasons without even making the past halfway through the season. Yeah, but if it gets that interaction right from the start, right? Most movies get greenlit for a second movie based on opening weekend, right? They're like, oh, we want to hit 10 million. If it makes 30 million, they're like, oh yeah, it's a sequel. We're going to make our money. Because percentages say that if they make this money about at the first half, then they can make a sequel. When younger, my friends, I used to purposely go and watch bad movies, naming horror ones in the theaters to have a good laugh. Different thing than hate watching. Oh, absolutely. That's totally different, Takachi. Right? That's totally different than hate watching. Right? Watching something that's bad. There's a difference between bad and there's a difference between just terrible. Like taking an IP and shitting on it is not bad. That's just terrible. That's right. Watching like a Freddy versus Jason movie in the theaters and having a good time, that's a completely different type of thing. You know what I mean? I've heard Velma is worse than the remake of the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, who only used He-Man for 5 minutes to prop up She-Ra. That wasn't the prop up She-Ra. Wasn't the prop up She-Ra. Most things are rigged. As WWE fan, I know it's rigged, but so is the NFL. The NFL is a lot. I want to agree with you, but there's like moments that can get rigged. I don't think the whole thing. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts in an NFL game. In the WWE, everybody that's in the ring knows what's going on. I know. I used to work closely with the wrestlers. I used to film nonstop action wrestling behind the scenes. I know a lot of wrestlers in real life. Everything is scripted and very rarely do things go out of script. Like for instance, back in the day, this is coming from Terry himself, Hulk Hogan. I used to work on the Hogan Knows Best show, and he would tell us stories and stuff. And when he was fighting Andre the Giant way back when, I think people know this story, but I actually heard it from the horse's mouth. He was supposed to, they said, Vince McMahon told him that he was going to win the belt. And Andre the Giant didn't want to lose it. He didn't want to lose it. And he wasn't going to lose it. Okay? Because at the time, Andre the Giant was undefeated. And he didn't want to lose the belt. And Terry Hogan was very, very nervous. Okay? And when he slammed him, when he did the thing, that was ad-lib. That wasn't rehearsed. That wasn't supposed to be a thing. But that shot Hulk Hogan into the stratosphere when he picked him up. And when he picked him up to slam him, he couldn't do it. If you watch that clip, he leaps off the ground a little bit. Andre helped him, and so he could slam him. Okay, and when he did that, he popped, I think it was like 7 or 8 vertebrae in his back. Okay, and he completely destroyed his back. So for the rest of his career, he was fucked, right, from his back just because of that incident. But he became the champion, and Andre let him do it. But if Andre didn't want to lose, he wasn't going to lose. You're telling me the multi-billion-dollar company that leave it up to the chance? Sorry, that's bullshit. You're talking about NFL, Travis, or are you talking about the wrestling? Wrestling is scripted, not fake. It could definitely get real, unscripted when someone gets pissed. Oh, sure. You ever get a chance to speak with Raven? That dude was no. I never met Raven. I heard Andre the Giant could literally drink like 60 beers and not even get drunk. Yeah, he's just. Oh, the NFL. Well, there's times, Travis, that there's certain things, and I don't want to go into a whole rant about like sporting and stuff like that. But I do think there's moments that happen, right? Like, so for instance, let's say a team has to get a first down, and I don't think the teams know. Let me put it this way. I don't think the teams know that they're rigged. Okay? I think the play callers that call certain plays, and I think certain refs are on it. But if they have to make a first down, and something like happens where they get close, and if they're close enough, and the ref can say, "Oh, they're short" or stuff like that, I do believe they can do that, right? Because there is a lot of money on the line for certain things. But I think sometimes, like for instance, when the Giants played the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and Eli Manning was about to get sacked, and then chucked the ball up in the air, and dude catches the ball on the ground, and it almost hits the ground, but it doesn't hit the ground. You can't change that. You can't falsify that. You can't adapt that to be like, that's the way it was supposed to happen, or it was rigged type of thing, right? So I think there's moments that happen that kind of screw the pooch sometimes for them, but in certain situations, on certain games and certain things, obviously it's conspiracy, but it could be manipulated in ways to help them. I'm saying if you're chosen before the season starts, who's going to win the Super Bowl? No, there's way too many there's way too many parts to move. There's no way. What's going on, Demir? There's no way. There's no way that in 2007 and 2011, in the beginning, they were picking the Giants to win the Super Bowl. No. There's no way. Both those games won with luck. With luck. Boy, I got into this conversation late. You're just in time. There's no. Baker show. Even though it's physically involved, I see it's more as a show rather than a sporting event. Much like the circus. Don't mean right. Oh no, absolutely. It's definitely a show. It's entertainment. It is entertainment, right? And I see that you can manipulate something to try to lean it towards that direction. Like a flag is tossed and they don't review it, or the instant replay doesn't show it, and you're like, what the hell, right? Or certain things like they forget to move the clock or the ball, or something happens. They could definitely manipulate certain things to happen, for sure. But I still think sometimes it goes off their personal script. You know what I mean? Absolutely, it's a show. This is why Underground was amazing and went in all in on entertainment. Sure. How did we get on this? How do we get on to the where do we go from? We went from this to getting into the sporting thing. Oh, it was the hate watching. It was hate watching. Yeah, I don't want to hate watch anymore for certain things because it gives credibility to something. People think their thing is more popular than it's supposed to be. Man, I missed the ECW. Oh, Taz. I used to go to so many of those shows, Water. They used to fight. That's one of the good things about being in Florida. When I was younger, in my teens and the early 20s and stuff like that, ECW, WWE, WWF, whatever you want to call it, all the wrestling always down here in Florida. They would come to Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach, and there's always shows that you could see. I know wrestling is not fake, all right, as far as certain things, because I went to a match where Sandman was fighting Taz, and we were in the auditorium, Fort Lauderdale Auditorium. It was a tag match, and they came out of the ring, and I literally had Taz's blood on me, right? Because they came in the stands, they pushed us off the chairs, he picked up the chair and started smashing him and stuff, and I had real blood on me from some other dude, and I was like, this is fucking crazy, right? Like, so that's not scripted, right? It's like bullet points. It's like, this is gonna win the match, but you got to make sure you hit this, 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 and this, and what you do in between doesn't matter, type of stuff. Yeah, there's some of the wrestling matches and stuff are just great entertainment. To me, I haven't watched wrestling in years, so when I say this, I'm saying that the peak, the pinnacle of what wrestling was to me was like 97, 98. When you had Stone Cold, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, when you had all these guys in the wrestling that were just, it was so good. It was so good, so entertaining. They didn't do the character right in WCW. They tried to put somewhat. It didn't work. Yeah, yeah, because you can't do stuff for certain things like that. You like the UFC more than WWE? Well, yeah, that's UFC and MMA is the new WWE, like popularity wise here. But at the same time, it's not as a showman. The showman stuff of UFC and MMA fighting is like the interviews before and how they get in each other's faces and that type of stuff. The show in the ring, yeah, WWE man is still pretty fun, right? You guys like the conversation we're having in here? We're all over the place now, but in the beginning we were talking about Suicide Squad live service game and how the game right now, looking at what it is, potentially could turn out to be like Anthem. Potentially could turn out to be like Marvel's Avengers. So if you guys missed any of that, in the very beginning of this video, we've been live for an hour and 46 minutes. The first like 10, 15 minutes of this video, I break down, script wise I put all my thoughts and stuff in front of it, in the very front of the video. And then we discuss it with the live chat. And then as we go deeper into the conversation, we kind of branch off into other things. Like right now, we're talking about wrestling and football and everything else. Real question here, but do you think after he passes, Raven goes into WWE Hall of Fame? Sure, sure. I think at some points, yeah. Why wouldn't he? I think he would. Wrestling doesn't really have any balls to it that they used to have. What do you when you say they don't have any balls? Are you saying like doing some of the crazy stuff they used to do? Because they do some pretty cool, still crazy stuff. My dad tells me stuff because he still watches wrestling. Never played Anthem, but I wanted to when it came out. Play it now, Water. It's on Game Pass. Yeah, but I don't know. I think certain people like, for instance, it's not like he was like Pete Rose gambling on matches or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't think someone should be judged based on what their viewpoints are, what they're vocal about. I mean, you put someone in the Hall of Fame based on what they were. Obviously, Pete Rose didn't make the Hall of Fame because of the gambling stuff that he did with it. But because you're outspoken about something, I don't think he's going to get blacklisted from there. I don't know. That's just me though. Yeah, but all of the wrestling things are together. You know what I mean? So if he wasn't in the WWE very long, but he was in wrestling, maybe he could get in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, maybe not the WWE Hall of Fame. I just watched gameplay for Suicide Squad game, and that's the game it reminded me of. I just watched gameplay for the Suicide Squad game, and that's the game it reminded me of. What what game did it remind you of? The game that you watched? I mean, the current wrestlers don't seem to carry themselves like the older ones did. Yeah, I just think it's a different era though now, right? There's a lot more other different types of competition and whatnot. I enjoy the N64. Oh, those are the best games, Monster. Those are the best games, man. WCW versus NWO, like that game, one of the best games. That game was so good. I want to bring that up for a second. Let me see. That game was fantastic. Was it not World Tour? Was it Revenge or World Tour? I forget what the cover looked like. It was World Tour. This game looks terrible now, but this game was fantastic back in the day, man. Was fantastic. I used to use a guy named Paco Loco, right? Was it Revenge? It might have been Revenge. That's World Tour. That's Revenge, right? Oh, this is it. This is it. Yeah, this is it. This was amazing. This is it, right? I used to use a guy named Paco Loco. So good. So good. I used to love the intros and stuff you could create your own characters. Like the gameplay was so freaking good, man. He's showing a bunch of different games here. But yeah, it was so good. They nailed the gameplay. It was called NWO or WWE versus NWO. Was it? No, WWE versus NWO. Was it? No, it was WCW. Was it? No, it's WCW versus NWO. Not WWE. Oh, a lot of the wrestlers are really awesome guys. original Xbox that used to burn music into the console and then use the character entrance. Yeah, it's good stuff. Shut your mouth, Water. It looks terrible now. It does not look terrible. Come on. Yeah, but think about this, Water. The gameplay in those games is 10 times better than the wrestling games now. Ten times better. Here's the game that I absolutely love. I think it was called. It was an arcade game. We bring it up every once in a while. Was it Championship Wrestling? Which one was it? That's Royal Rumble Wrestling. That's not the one I want. What was the game? I know we've done this before, and I can't think of it now. Oh, here it is. It is called Royal Rumble. This game was fantastic in the arcade. This game was fantastic. This is Royal Rumble. This is WWF Royal Rumble. And this was an arcade game, and you would push the quarters and come in. The guy would come in the top of the corner, but right, and then run down to the actual thing. Right, this game was amazing. Look at the graphics on this. These were the 90s, man. This game was crazy. So many quarters. I want to get your thoughts on the new AEW Fight Forever and the wrestling cut. I don't know any about that, Travis. I can't give you my opinion. I haven't watched it, and I haven't watched wrestling at all. There's Big Boss Man, Demolition, Earthquake, Jake the Snake, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. This was a great time. Who's next? Someone got eliminated. Who's next? Who's coming into the ring? We actually played. There's another wrestling game that came out. What's that wrestling game that we played? Oh, Ultimate Warrior coming in. AEW Fight Forever is a new game being made by the N64 Games in mind. I'll have to look it up. Oh, there it is. Mr. Perfect coming in. I would take this game again. I know they made... Is it Championship Wrestling? What was that wrestling game that we played? Oh, God. Arcade... I have it in Steam. Let me look it up. What's it called? AEW? It's called Fight Forever. Wow. That looks crazy good. Q Nordic. If that's true, then that's awesome. That's awesome if they're doing that. Behind the scenes of wrestling stuff is more interesting than the front camera wrestling now. Right. Ultimate Warrior was the ultimate 80s wrestler. Cocaine and steroids, bro. Yeah, he was hyped up. What was the other thing? There was let me go to my Steam real fast. Because we actually have the wrestling game that came out, and this is like more arcade style stuff. Let me bring it over here. Go to my library. What is it called? It's called... Is it Wrestle Fest? The hell is it called? I forget what the hell it's called. We played it for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks on stream like 2 years ago now. I can't think of what it's called though. Retromania Wrestling. Retromania Wrestling. That's what it's called. It looks like they've updated a bit. Let me bring it up real fast. Retro Mania Wrestling. And they've added a bunch of stuff. So they brought in, now we talked to the developer back in the day. You could actually see that it's actually a pretty fun game. All right. So it reminds me of the old school WWF Royal Rumble, right? This is actually a really fun game. If you guys are looking for a wrestling game, it's on the cheaper side. They actually made an arcade version of this, but it's an actually great game. Lots of different arenas that you can fight. Lots of different wrestlers that you can have. Already own this, so that's a nice surprise. Yeah, I played it a couple years ago, and you could play literally 8v8 type of stuff. Right? Look, it's the exact same with the guy in the bottom corner, and he runs into the thing. These are fans of the game. I thought they added a couple more wrestlers, but maybe they haven't yet. It's cool though. Maybe we'll play it one night as for members. If you guys have it, maybe we'll do a members match or something. Never played with anybody. I only played against the NPC. I think the game's gonna be awesome, but I know first person I'm playing as. It's about damn time he's got another game. Owen Hart. Oh, Owen Hart's in the game. How many wrestlers are supposed to be in that game? I thought they brought in some more characters. Yeah, they did add they have added more wrestlers. And they have it to the Epic Game Store. I believe this is also I believe this is also on the Switch as well. Wasn't there a game called Saturday Night Slam Masters? I've never heard of it, but I'm sure there was. Looks like there was. This is this the game you're talking about? Saturday Night Slam Masters by Capcom. This is like Street Fighter meets the wrestling. That's basically what this is. Wait, it's been 2 years apart since you played? Damn. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was 2 years. Cuz I think we played it yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been 2 years. March. It'll almost be 2 years. The last time we played it was March 31st of 2021. So we're about 2 months away from being 2 years since we played it. All right, Takashi, thank you very much for stopping in, hanging out. Appreciate it. Hypercharge game sounds cool. What was Hypercharge? Actually, wrestling games, I think, is one of the few places I think live service works well. It would work well there, I think. I think actually it would work well. Tony C says, you heard the new game coming out sometime this year next called Hypercharge. Basically a shooter, but you play... Oh, yeah. We played it. Super Hypercharge or whatever it was. That's what you're talking about, Little Monsters. Yeah. And Tony, yeah, we played it on stream. We played it on... Is it called Super Hypercharge or is that Hypercharge? I forget when we played that. It's been over a year since we played that. Yeah, we played it. We played the demo or the beta or whatever. That was fantastic. And I believe it's coming... I think it's coming to Game Pass. It's called Hypercharge something? I forget what it's called. It's not just called Hypercharge, is it? Hypercharge Unbox. That's what it's called. Yeah, Hypercharge Unbox. Yeah, I don't know when we played it, but we did play it. Yeah, we played it a while ago. It's like a tower defense game as well. And then you can play with your friends and there's like bosses and whatnot. You go into like a couple different rooms. We played the garage level. And we played, I forget the other level we played. Oh, the toy store. Where you're jumping up and they have like the fake Marvel characters in there and the fake other thing. It was actually pretty good. I actually liked it a lot. Tower defense to avoid like the plague. No, here let me show you what it is. I don't know if you've seen it. It's actually it's not a tower defense game, right? It's on Switch and Steam right now. It says, let's see. It's a 1 to 4 player co-op, local co-op, split screen support, full control support. Fortify and defend against nasty hordes of weaponized toys. Earn XP, unlock skins, customize your action figures and weapons. Fight the battle. It's really fun. It is a tower. I mean, it is a tower defense type of game. But let me see if I could show you what it looks like. Videos. Yeah, so you're building like a little tower defense type of thing. They're not charging microtransactions. There is a store, but it's not microtransactions. You earn the currency in the game, and then you fight. And there's different backgrounds. There's bosses that you fight against. It's done really well. If you like Toy Story or if you like Toy Soldiers back in the day, like the movie, you're literally playing that. Is Endless Dungeon Water, is that on console or is it just on PC? Well, you brought it up the other day in our Discord, and I was like looking at it. Back in my day. Let's see. Endless Dungeon. It'll be on all of them. I think, yeah, we watched this. We watched this a couple months ago. I know if you play it right now, if you buy it right now, it's you can play it, right? If you purchase or early access, you get to play it. But is it like I feel like it's like Lost Ark. Right? I feel like that's what it is. Have you played it yet? Is it fun? I think early access on Steam only. It could be wrong, though. I'm excited for Death Ground. That game looks crazy good. Jurassic Park, the game. What is it called? Death Ground? We'll look at that, and then I gotta get going here. Let's see here. What's it called? Death Ground? Never heard of this game. Never heard of this game. Death Ground. So is this like a Jurassic Park game? So it's a first person. Is it like a horror game? Is it a action co-op game? Do we have actual gameplay of this, or is this a co-op, 4-player co-op fighting dinosaur game? Alien Isolation, but with dinosaurs. Okay. These type of games are fun for very, very little. If you have friends, you get more life out of it. But if you're playing with randoms, it's fun, but it kind of loses its factor real fast, like fun factor pretty fast. See, I think this would be fun if you're playing, if people are playing this on like Twitch or YouTube with a bunch of other streamers and stuff like that. Could be interesting to watch. Is this a single player game or is it a co-op game? Or is that Kickstarter game? Yeah, a solo and co-op survival horror game that throws players into desperate battles for survival against the deadliest AI dinosaurs. Yeah, see, I think as you're by yourself, you're going to play it fine. I think it'll actually get more longevity with co-op. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if you don't have it, then it kind of just like wears off pretty fast. That's cool, though. We shall see. All right, chat. I appreciate you all coming out and hanging out with us. If you like what you be a part of here today, make sure you hit that like button down below. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, you become a member as little as $4.99 or $5. Becoming a member on YouTube helps me as a content creator. You can do super chats. You can do special thanks after the fact. You can do a membership. Membership gets you other benefits. You know, I'll prioritize towards people as more people become members. People that are members, I'll talk more to you than people that are not members because that's part of the perk. But as a small community, I try to talk and reach out to everybody that's in our channel, and I do appreciate every single person coming out. But also, we'll have membership streams. You can also join our Discord for free. But if you're a member, you can go to different Discord sections, have more conversations with other people in the community. But never, ever going to put anything like, you know, I'm not going to exclude anybody if you're not a member. So a member is above and beyond. If you want to support us for free, just hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I do appreciate everyone who comes out and hangs out with us each and every single day. We do the daily grind Monday through Thursday, 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Monday through Wednesday, we do a Let's Play. Tonight, we're going to try out Monster Hunter Rise. So anybody wants to play with me tonight, we're going to be playing on the Xbox. I'm going to try it out. And then Thursday nights, we do a podcast called Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week. We rant along the way. You can help us out by also watching our uploads that we do as well. I had an upload yesterday about Marvel's Avengers. You can check that out, and you can check out all our other videos that we have as well. Again, I appreciate you very much for coming out, and you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.